UFC Featherweight contender Josh Emmett. Thank you, Josh, for coming on. The last time we saw you was in June over the summer against Shane Burgos. Incredible performance. You sustained some injuries. Could you break down the injuries that you sustained and some of the surgeries that you had to go through?
Yeah, so I completely tore my ACL. I partially tore my MCL. I had some, they call it an impact fracture, because when I tore my ACL, the femur and tibia hit so hard together that they actually fractured my femur and tibia, and I took a huge kind of divot out of the cartilage that sits between those two bones. And it was just, obviously it was painful during the fight. I didn't have much stability in the knee. As people could see, it just kept buckling on me, and every time I'd get kicked on the inside of the leg or pretty much throw punches, my knee would buckle. So it was definitely challenging for sure. Just because it happened in the first 17 seconds of the first round, so I had to basically fight the entire fight against such a tough opponent with no leg. I fought a guy with a great opponent on one leg. So I stayed out in Vegas for 2 weeks to do the prehab, just kind of getting the swelling down and kind of, getting my quads and hamstrings strong, just to prepare myself for surgery. And then I went and, I did a full ACL reconstruction, and they used the patellar tendon, and they threw some stem cells and everything in there as well. And then, man, I was in PT the very next day. I stayed out in Vegas for 6 more weeks after that. And, there's no one like the Performance Institute. I've been working with Heather Linden, the strength coaches, Bo and Kyle. And, man, it truly is an amazing place, so I'm kind of, jealous of the people that actually live here, because it's top notch. Nothing can compare with it. So I went back home after the 6 weeks staying out here, and I've been doing PT once a day. And then, at the 3-month marker, my surgeon wanted to see me do a follow up. And then also Heather wanted me back out here, just so we could incorporate new exercises, and they're just so aggressive with things. So I've been doing, 2 PT sessions a day. I've been doing my strength and conditioning every day. So it is, it's a lot of work, but I'm going to be out here for another week. I've been out here for a week already. So things are looking good. And yeah, I'm just excited to when I can finally get back to training again, or, hit mitts or doing something. But it's just the ACL. It's just a long process.
The rehab, has there been any setbacks or has it been going smoothly?
Yeah, I guess people say that there's a lot of people hit a plateau, and I felt like everything was going really well, but maybe the last, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, I've just had different pain in my knee. It just kind of, everything just shifts around. It's a weird thing, because for one, my body's getting used to recognizing the new graft. You know what I mean? Because I for what I've heard, and just I've done like research and everything on this, because I'm going through it, so I'm constantly looking up things. The graft doesn't become yours until 18 months. That's when it completely recognizes it. I'm not saying it's strong after the 12-week marker starts to get stronger and stronger, but I've just been so cautious, because I know within those first 12 weeks is when a lot of people re-injure the graft, just because maybe they feel good and they think they can do something, and then they end up re-tearing it or re-injuring it. And man, Heather and everyone out here, they just kind of ingrained that into my head, that don't do anything unless we kind of clear you to do it. So I've just been doing exactly that. So I don't know, just being out here though, within the first few days, pain that I felt for, a few weeks, she kind of cleared up in a day or two. So it truly is, she's one of a kind.
Yeah, man, it must be nice to have, Vegas so close to your home and having the PI there for you.
Yeah, no, it is nice. It's only an hour flight. So the first time I was out here for 2 months. We drove just because I wanted to have a car, and I didn't want to rent a car for 2 months. But we flew this time, my wife and I. So, now the weekend we get to enjoy Vegas, have a little fun, and then Monday we'll be right back to work.
Nice. Now, Have they hinted at any possible return date, like a time frame?
Man, it's everyone's different. Like general people, they'll say 9 to 12 months or 12 to 18 months. Athletes, they're saying, I don't know, possibly before I can start doing stuff, really like 6 months, and then it depends. But in a perfect case scenario, they say they want me doing rehab for 9 to 11 months and then booking a fight. So I would fight at the 11 or 13-month marker.
Mm-hmm.
But still, in my mind, I feel like that's too long. I feel like I'm going to do whatever I can to beat those whatever you want to call them, statistics, or just like what generally happens. I just feel like that's too long, man. But I know I can't rush biology, so I'm just playing it safe. If I'm feeling good and I get I just have to get my legs strong. The quads and the hamstrings, everything's strong and firing, and just your muscles, hips, glutes, everything. Then that's kind of what runs the knee. So strong legs will definitely help aid in that. But if you're slacking with your PT and your strength and conditioning and stuff, then it's just going to prolong everything. So I'm 100% focused on this, and this is my job. So that's all I've been doing the last 3 months.
Nice. Well, with you being injured and in rehab, the division really hasn't moved forward. There haven't been any big fights in that top 10 or top 15 as of late. The next one is the Korean Zombie versus Ortega. But other than that, there's really nothing booked for all the featherweights. You do have Stevens and Arnold. Now, let's say you weren't out due to injury. What fight would make sense for you right now? Because I'm pretty sure if you weren't injured, you would have been fighting.
And that's one of the things. When I was out here in Vegas in June about to fight, they were already talking to my manager about me fighting in the end of August or early September, and that was like fight week. And my manager's like, well, let's let him win this fight first before we talk about that. But that would have been the plan, man. I probably already would have fought again. And then, possibly I was just trying to string off fights. I wanted to fight, at least 2 times during the, this year, possibly 3. That was kind of in my mind. But with the injury, I know it's not possible. So that is a little frustrating. I'm just kind of sidelined once again. But like you said, a lot of people in front of me, they will eventually fight. And so I always try to look at things in a positive way and, find a silver lining. And that is, maybe that's what it is. The people will fight and 3 people will lose. So, possibly I'll just kind of move up in the rankings, won't have to do anything. So when I am healthy and cleared to fight, I may come back to a huge opportunity or just a huge fight.
About a month after your fight, UFC 251, Volkanovski, he defended the title against Max Holloway. And when you sit back and judge that fight, do you feel Holloway was robbed?
I wouldn't say like a robbery. It was just competitive. It was a close fight, man. Like, I would literally, I haven't watched it again. I watched it that night, and I've been asked this question before, but just me looking back at it, I remember Holloway, I thought, won the first 2 rounds. I thought Volkanovski won the 4 and 5, and I don't really remember the third as much, but I would just have to go back and watch it. But I don't know. It's tough. The first fight, I thought Volkanovski decisively won that fight. This fight was way more closer. But I don't know. I wouldn't call it like a complete robbery, but I could have seen it going either way. I thought Max was going to pull it off, but then I also, just depending on the judges, I was like, I could see it being a split. So it's a tough job, man. I wouldn't want to be a judge.
Yeah, definitely, with so much on the line, especially a championship belt and 6-figure incomes. It's crazy.
Yeah, the show and win. If people we got our, just purse, and it wasn't so much on the line, like you get 1 check if you lose, but it's like I'm trying just as hard as if I win, and I'm trying to finish the fight every strike I throw. So I think something needs to change there. You know what I mean? Just because, when I hear people say, oh, you can't let it go to the judges' hands, it's like, we're not trying. Nobody's trying. And it just sucks that you only get paid half, if if you're on the losing end.
No doubt. Now, a lot of people are screaming for a rematch. That probably won't happen. What do you think's the next logical step for Holloway?
Man, I don't know. I've seen. I don't know if they're just kind of like rumored, but I've seen people talking about possibly Cater and Holloway fighting, but I know that's not official. That would be a good fight, but who knows? And I've seen other interviews with Volkanovski, and he says that he's not going to do another Holloway rematch just because he's fought him twice. So yeah, really, anyway, anyone like Holloway, I think he's a good matchup for anyone. He was the champ for so long. He was the GOAT for a while, but then Volkanovski, he just looks better and better every fight. And then he also beat Jose Aldo and in Brazil, in Rio, and he used to be recognized as the GOAT, and then he fought Holloway twice and got 2 wins over him. So it's like right now I would say he has that title, because he beat 2 of the best featherweights in UFC history.
Now, the next big fight in the featherweight division is the Korean Zombie versus Ortega, a fight that has been in the making for the last year and a half, it seems like. Can I get your breakdown and analysis of this fight? Like, who do you see taking the win?
Yeah, this is a fight I'm looking forward to. It's so hard with like this sport because either one of them can win. I can see, obviously, Ortega. We know he has the advantage anywhere on the ground, or if he can, get his hands on him against the cage. I feel like the Korean Zombie is going to have the advantage with, maybe being a little more powerful, a little better on his feet. But also, I see Ortega's training with, TJ Dillashaw and like Cub and like all those guys that are, great camp now. So I think if he's done really well with the team he's had, and now he's going to go over there and learn. Those are people that are heavily involved in wrestling, and you have Juan Archuleta and so many other guys. And he's going to pick up some new tools on striking, the system that TJ uses and implements. So he's going to learn a lot of striking there and more wrestling. So who knows? It could be a new Ortega when he comes out. But then you can't count either of those guys out. I'm excited to see the fight. And like I said, those guys are in front of me, so that'll weed someone out. I don't know if the winner is going to get a title shot, and if that's the case, if that, yeah, I don't know. So I guess we just have to kind of see how things play out, But this is a fight that, yeah, I've been looking forward to for sure.
Well, Dana White said that the winner gets a title shot. Do you think the winner deserves a title shot?
I don't know. It depends. It's hard. Just like Ortega hasn't fought in a few years, right? Or almost 2 years. So, yeah, I don't know. But I could see Korean Zombie. He's been on a run and beaten people. But I think, has he only won one since he lost to Yair?
No, he's won a few. Volkanovski, Edgar.
Oh yeah, Edgar. Okay, yeah. It just depends, man. I don't know. I guess everything's not even on a merit system. Like, it should just go up the rankings. It's kind of like popularity too. That's just how it is. So yeah, it makes sense in the UFC's eyes and stuff like that. But just from people that have been on a winning streak or trying to climb up the ranks, not necessarily. But who knows? It'll. I don't see Volkanovski losing for quite a while.
Zabit and Yair, they were set to fight in August. Then Yair, he pulled out, due to injury. Zabit, he was screaming for a title shot. He even was talking trash online, to everybody. It seemed like, does he have a case, you think, for a title shot right away, or does he need to win another fight?
I could see Zabit, man, because I would say he definitely. I think he needs to win another fight. I think a handful of them need to, before someone fights for the title. I feel like maybe Yair and Zabit should fight. Ortega and Zombie are. Maybe the winners of both of those fight for a title eliminator. Who knows, though? But then it's going to hold up the division for Volkanovski to fight, too. So depending on because I've been out for, 3.5 months. And like you said, the division hasn't really moved much. So the champs may fight once, maybe twice a year. So I guess you don't want to hold it up too long. So as long as Volkanovski is willing to fight, say the winner of Zombie and Ortega, whoever wins that gets a title shot. They fight possibly in March against Volkanovski. And then if Yair and Zabit fight again, and then depending on what happens, if those guys fight Volkanovski, then maybe another one of them will get a shot at the title. So I think it's fair. I think, like what you're saying, I think it's right not to hold up the division and just let people fight, and especially during this time, they need fight. So it's like, I've always I would have loved this if I didn't get injured, because I would fight as much as I possibly could, so we'll see. But yeah, might as well just keep feeding people. Whoever the number one contender is, that's what Volkanovski said he wants to fight. So it would be nice to see some new blood in there getting a shot, and then just kind of, mixing it up more.
When you saw that Yair pulled out, did you feel like, man, I could have slid in right there and fought Zabit? That would have been a title eliminator right there.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of the fights, man, like any of the fights that if I'm like in shape and I'm training and, someone gets injured a decent amount in at least like 4 weeks, yeah, I would love to just slide in and, sign me up, because I just want to fight, because obviously the more we fight, the more we make money, and it gets me closer to that goal. I want to fight for the title, and that's why I'm here. That's why I got into the sport. I feel like I'll be a champion. So it's like, I just want to fight, man. I want to be healthy so I can just fight, because I've never said no to a fight.
You're sitting back, you're doing the rehab on your knee. Do you feel like that has allowed you to kind of like recover from some other nagging injuries that you've had, that's been kind of long lasting? Have you been working on some of those things?
Yeah, a few things, but man, I've been sidelined for a long time. It's like, let's see, after the Stevens fight, I was out for like 13 months. I came back, I fought Johnson, and then I had a fast turnaround, and I fought Bektic. And then I had, I sat out until I just fought Burgos in June again. So it's like, I'm always having these long layoffs. I've been sidelined. I've been active, like fighting, even though I've been in the UFC for, like 4.5 years. I think I've been sidelined like 2.5 of those years. Yeah, I'm always getting better. I'm constantly working. I'm like, I feel like I'm learning new techniques. I'm, just really like the team I'm dialed in with now with like my dietitian, like all my coaches, like I have this system down just perfect. So it is continuing to evolve. I feel like just everything about my career is getting better, but it's like, now I just have to, I want to go out there and apply it and show the fans and show everyone. And that's kind of what I planned on doing against Burgos. I feel like I was like, okay, I feel great for this fight. I'm going to go out there and just show a whole new side to my game. And then 17 seconds into the fight, my damn knee blew out. So I couldn't do anything. But it'll come. And I've been strengthening this thing. And people say that, my knee I just had surgery on will be stronger than my other knee. And yeah, that time will come. But I'm always working on things that, nagging injuries. And I actually feel great, just because, I fight once or twice and I sit out for so damn long. So it gives me plenty of time to work on those injuries, but also, just evolve as a fighter.
What are you working on? Are you working on anything? You say you can't really train, but I'm pretty sure you could work on other aspects.
Yeah, I'm just getting everything, just kind of even things I neglected, like say lifting wise and stuff. I'm focusing on everything. So like all the stabilizing muscles, stuff like that, more balanced things. I can still work. My boxing coach is coming out to Vegas Sunday, and we're work. Like I can still work a lot of defensive drills. I can do a lot of linear stuff forward and back. I just right now I can't like pivot hard on my knee. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on, just with like my weight, my conditioning, everything. I feel really good. It's just my knee is kind of getting in the way, just kind of slowing me down. But then again, it could be a good thing. Even some of the pain that I've been feeling, maybe it's a good thing, because if I didn't have this certain pain in this one area, like I would feel so good, and maybe I would I would start doing a lot more, and maybe that's just my body telling me like I'm not ready for it. So it's like, even with that, it's like I try to look at everything positive, and just work on what I can, and work on what I can control. I can't control this. It's out of my control. So I just, instead of sitting there and dwelling on it, I just have to, kind of keep moving forward. And it's just going to take me a little longer to get to where I think I will be.
Well, it's good to hear that, you're taking the doctor's advice and not pushing through too hard because, like you said, you need to get back in there as soon as possible, and the only way to do that is to listen to the guys that are the experts.
And I think I've done that so many times with, man, I think age is it's helping me out, just because man, I feel like I'm getting old for being in this sport, but I feel the best I have, even though my numbers getting up there. But yeah, I would maybe in the past, if I was younger, I wouldn't listen to the doctor, but now I just feel like going through as many surgeries and injuries as I've had throughout my whole life, and like, playing sports as a child, and wrestling all through high school and college and stuff like that, and then doing MMA for over a decade. It's like I am just, I listen to my body, and I listen to the professionals, and even if I do feel good, like, I will not do something to jeopardize it just because I feel good and I think I can. But if I ask the experts, and they say, you can do this, you're cleared, you will not hurt this, then I'll do it. I don't want to have any setbacks that's going to prolong my return, because I feel like I have a few good years to make a real run at the title. I feel like I have a much longer time for my career, but I feel like I have like a good 2 more years to like really make a run at that title, just being real. And that's kind of my thought process. And then I still think I have a good 4 or 5 years left in the sport, maybe longer, just because I feel like everything, like I said, the team I have in place and everything's dialed in. So I feel, even though I'm getting older, I still feel the best I've ever felt, and I'm continuing to feel better and better, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I feel like when you do return, it's going to be highly anticipated because of your last performance, and I think they're going to give you a big fight. If they were talking about it before your last fight, they're probably going to slide you in where you fit in really well and in that title picture, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Josh, for catching us up on what you're going through, and thanks, Josh, man. Good luck on the rehab. All the best on everything, and hopefully you're back before the doctors, really they always tell you the longest time frame, right? So hopefully you're back before that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, whatever I can to beat whatever they're saying. So I want to fight before the 9 months of rehab, but we'll see. I appreciate everything, John. Yeah, anytime, hit me up.
Hey guys, Sasha Platnikoff here, letting you know to tune in to SCMP Post Fight for all your weekly martial arts news.